Hi, my name is Perry. I'm trying to play Stardew Valley one day at a time, so one day per day. And while I play, I just want to talk about just whatever deep thoughts come to my mind and kind of go from there. So let's quickly make our character. I would like these videos to be ideally pretty short. Let's go Mountain Dew. And yeah, just, the world's such a crazy place. I figured, why not have fun for a day, My color doesn't really matter to me. Let's not spend too much time on our character, but more than no time, if that makes sense. I'll skip the cutscene, just in case you haven't. It's kind of a nice experience for yourself. But yeah, so as I was saying in my intro, what I'm really trying to do here is just to play this game one day at a time. Whenever I have played this game, I've always kind of just like rushed through it, and there's always been this sense of I need to have the most profitable farm, I need to complete the community center on year one. If you don't know what that is, the community center is just this, I don't know what you'd call it, almost like a long-term quest in the game. But, it's just so draining, and this game is probably one of my favorites, and it's not my favorite because of, rushing through it. It's my favorite because of just how peaceful it is. With everything crazy going on in the world we live in today, I figured, why not just sit down, relax, play a nice farming game, and talk about what I think is important. And if you disagree with me, that's alright. So today's pretty simple as far as what we have to do in the game. All I'm doing is setting down our basic farming crops. The game gives you this nice little starting crop, and then you all go from there. And that's all we're really going to focus on, just really the day by day. And when I say focusing day by day, I don't mean trying to min-max every single day to the utmost perfection. I mean just really just enjoying every single day of Stardew Valley. So let's have our main task done for the day. I'll probably go around, collect some wood, collect some forageables, and then I'll get to kind of what I want to talk about today. So today, I figured what better way to start off this kind of pursuit of peace and happiness through this cute little indie game than talking about the nature of happiness. Well, I don't know if that showed up. I don't think it did. Talk about the nature of happiness and what it means to truly be happy. And let me first preface this whole series and everything I say with the, cautionary tale that I'm no professional in happiness, you could say. I don't have any degree in a related field, if that makes sense, but I'm just a guy that, I don't know, I'd like to imagine I'm pretty happy, and that to me is enough to feel like I can maybe talk to y'all about it. But for me, what it means to truly be happy, as it's asked, is to have a certain level of just comfort in the situation you find yourself in. There's a lot of times in people's lives around the world that they can have everything and be upset or depressed or just unhappy. And, I've traveled around the world and I've met people and seen people that have had nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing, and been happy. I think too often we kind of get fixated on this notion of happiness means having a nice house or a nice car, or having a wonderful job. I personally think that happiness sort of means just being content and finding joy in the small moments. as I've mentioned, you know, it's... Hey, Linus. Linus, you're a great example of happiness. Little hobo Joe out here. But once you've kind of found that happiness, however you may, for me today, it's just sitting here talking to y'all and playing some video games. But however you find happiness, whether that's watching this or playing some games of your own, going out in nature, or reading a nice book, once you've found that happiness and kind of escaped from the craze of the world, the biggest question then is, you know, how do you sustain that happiness? And to be frank, it's a tall ask at times. You know, there are times when we can pass through a season of discomfort, as you will, and it almost doesn't matter how much happiness you have, it can all kind of be whisked away in a moment. And you know, I really do think that finding the happiness is almost a daily task, as you can think of it as. Hey Harvey, I think this is the first time I've ever met you on my first day. I hope that makes sense. You know, you can be having a wonderful day, you can have a wonderful amount of happiness in your life, but if something comes in and kind of sweeps you under the rug, it can feel kind of hard. Life can feel kind of hard, especially in the days we find ourselves in. But, so what I would propose is going out every day with a goal of finding happiness. You know, really like jot it down in your personal to-do list that, you know, no one's gonna make me happy for me, you know? Almost the expression of you gotta go out and live your life because no one's gonna live it for you. So, whatever it may be for you, whether it's playing a video game, watching people play video games, reading a book, being out in nature, whatever it may be, I hope you take time to go out and find your own personal happiness today. Let's see here. Well, I don't got much more I can do as far as our first day together. I'm almost out of food. I mean, I guess we can clear up the farm a little bit. Ain't no shame in that. I got a little bit of food and some things I can plant. Let's see here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. You know, as I was saying earlier, it's almost the people that are in what sometimes appears to me as the most dissolute situations that almost have a knack for finding happiness. And, you know, I really can't say why that is. You know, I think I'm guilty just as much as anyone is being frustrated with the world and the way I find myself in. And, you know, I just really got tired of complaining about it. I figured, why complain about how crazy the world is when I can just enjoy what little corner of it I live in. You know, having that mindset of thankfulness rather than sorrow. It's too easy to be upset. It almost comes naturally, or at least to me it does. But, so I hope you'll join me, not take the easy route, not just be upset, but to really go out and try to find happiness. You know, that's another great question. I think maybe we've got just enough time to ask, and maybe I can try to draw an answer to, but You know, there's almost a social expectation of happiness. And, you know, I wonder if that really qualifies as happiness. What I'm trying to say is, like I was kind of previously just mentioned or just touched on for a second there, there's a lot of people that will tell you what happiness is. You know, but I really think that happiness is a personal endeavor. You know, only you know what makes you happy. And you know, maybe that is having that nice job. Maybe it is the previously mentioned activities that I've said. Who knows what it is for you? But you know, it's important for you to get out there and figure out what it is that makes you happy. You know, I fall guilty of almost just waiting for the world to knock on my door and make me happy for no good reason, you know. Just hoping that for some reason I'm almost, what would you call it, entitled to happiness. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't think any of us are entitled to happiness. But I think anyone can have happiness. I think happiness is a choice. You know, some people it's not an easy choice. Depending on your mental health or the situations that you find yourself in, happiness could be the hardest choice. But I think it's a choice worth making. Well, we better turn in. It's already close to 8. We could go out and work the rest of our energy bar, but you know, I'm really satisfied with the work we got done today. Let's go fill up our watering can before we call it a night. Well, thanks everyone that's here, and thanks anyone that's watching this video. Again, kind of summarizing what we were talking about. You know, what it means to be happy, finding that personal progression in yourself, finding what it is that makes you happy and chasing that. You know, don't let the world tell you what you need to be happy. Go out and figure it out for yourself. I promise. It'll make a world of difference. And tomorrow, I hope to be here with you and we can go over another important aspect of life as we take Stardew Valley one day at a time. Good night, everyone.